Hi folks, Dave with dbstechtalk. Today we're going to talk about Cupid. Now Cupid is usually associated with Valentine's Day or love, being paired up, blind dates, that type of thing. And so how's that apply to audio gear? Well, Cupid with audio gear is kind of like a reviewer kind of advising, or a friend advising that, hey, you should use these headphones, you should try these headphones. I think they'd be a good match for you. And so let's find out if the oBravo Cupid are a good match and a good pairing. Also, Cupid can be a little sensitive as far as the pairings. You know, sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it works for one person but doesn't work for another. So I highly recommend that you activate the sensitivity sensor and just be prepared to when you listen to this review. So I'm going to give you a moment while I finish up my coffee here for you to activate your sensitivity sensor. In fact, I'm going to leave some of my coffee just for the review. Alright, so the oBravo Cupid, I want to thank a member of my Discord for sending these over for review. Do greatly appreciate it. You rock. Also, if you haven't already, check out the links down below. There's links to Discord, how you can connect there, and also how you can contact me and send over some gear if you would like. Also ask me questions, all that kind of stuff. There's also links for playlists and all kinds of other things down below, and also for ways that you can support the channel. So I highly recommend that you check out the links down below. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, the oBravo Cupid. Planar dynamic hybrid. A very interesting concept. You don't see this very often. So it has a 6mm dynamic driver that's used for the bass, and then you have a 8mm planar driver that's used for the mids and treble. Very interesting design. You don't normally see that. Also, from what I understand, there's not a crossover. They use something like acoustic. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, how do the oBravo Cupids pair up for me? Alright, so they come in this little box. Very nice. Whoops. Good pictures. Says Cupid on all four sides. And then you get this nice little unboxing experience. Plus, as I dropped it on the floor, you get a little bit of paperwork. Okay, so this is a nice 4.4mm balanced cable. So you have a 4.4 Pentagon, and then you have these very strange OB MMCX connectors, and they're only used with oBravo from what I understand. And so you either have to get a custom-made cable with that connector or use the provided cables from oBravo. You cannot use a regular MMCX. Try to get focused here. Doesn't really want to focus too well. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than the norm. Very nice cable. I didn't get to use the 4.4 because I don't have anything that's 4.4. You also get a little connector that goes from 2.5mm to 4.4. And you can use that with the other cable that is provided. You get a little bit of a like cleaning cloth and bag. You get 3 sets of tips. They're all silicone, small, medium, and large. And then you have your IEMs. We'll take a look at those here in a minute. You'll also get down below, whoops, another cable and an adapter Try to get that adapter out here for you. So the adapter goes from 2.5 to 3.5. Has nice branding on it. It says oBravo 3.5 down 2.5. And then here's the standard cable. And this is the cable that I mostly used. It's not a bad cable. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. You have a nice big thick casing on the end, 2.5. Try to get it to focus there. There you go. It says oBravo on it. Nice big strain relief. You have your oBravo branded split. And then it goes to those bizarre connectors. And there's no ear hooks, they just kind of loop over the top of your ear with no problem. Overall, it's a decent cable. Do not have any problems with the feel of it. Didn't really tangle up or anything like that. Fit very well. Let's get the IEMs out here. Now I did find that the IEMs are actually really hard to get out from the they are fit very snugly, and you have to kind of pull them out. There we go. There's one. And there's two. Set all that to the side. Drop in tips. Okay, now you're going to want to use that cleaning cloth because these things are extremely shiny. They're very small. Have a nice shape to them. I do not have any problems with nozzle angles or anything of that sort. And they got a little heft to them, but not too bad. They remind me a little bit of a blonde BL05. I'm in build, but they feel very, very premium. Have a nice smoothness to them, very nice look. They're very pretty, and I have no complaints regarding that. So to fit your cable on is very interesting. So there's a little notch. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera. Try to get some blockage here. There's this little itty bitty notch right there on the connector, and you line it up with the IEM, and it just kind of, it's really hard to do on camera, and they just kind of connect. You'll hear it, you'll feel it snap into place. There we go. And so it's got a very long stem for the where the cables connect, and it makes it very awkward. So I don't have a problem with the shell shape. Where the first problem begins for the Cupid is how that connects to the shell and then connects to goes into your ear. And I'll show it to you here. Get the tips on. Now, tips are going to be another thing we're going to discuss. So when you put them in and they go around your ear, this part here just sticks up at the wrong spot and it touches right where my ear comes around, and it adds pressure right to the front part of my ear. I don't have any problems with comfort here. I don't have any issues with the way it goes into my ear, fits well, seals very well. It's where that stem comes up and where the cable comes around. And I just find it to be a very awkward feel right here. And it just puts a little pressure. If I take my glasses off, now nobody scream, you know, but anyways, they feel a little bit better. So if you don't wear glasses, maybe it'll make a little bit of a difference. But for me, I just found them to be uncomfortable with glasses on. Isolation of outside noises is actually pretty good. It's right around, I would say, about 60% of outside noises are blocked, even with a silicone tip. So now that we mentioned silicone tips, they provide silicone tips, and of course I always try to review an IEM with the tips that are provided by the manufacturer before I try to change anything else. And I find that the silicone tips are actually the best sounding of the tips that I tried. And I tried everything. I tried Duconi tips, foam tips. I tried both sizes, their TWS and their bigger bullet size. I tried Complies. I tried ones that came with the shouty Form 1.4s, all foams. Nothing really worked. Foams always thickened the bass up too much and muted everything else, and it just sounded really muffled and like I don't know, it was odd, very odd with foam, so I didn't care for that. I tried different silicones. I tried RHA dual densities. I tried the Sedna silicones. I tried some other just oddball ones I had laying around, some spin fits that would fit, and it was just everything under the sun that I had, I tried. And I always ended up coming back to the stock tip. So I found that the stock medium tip was the best fit for me as far as comfort, seal, and overall sound signature. Your experiences may differ, but for me, I found that the silicones worked the best just in overall, just sound signature. All right. So for design, comfort, feel, build, things like that, they're okay. They're not the worst that I've ever felt. They're not the most uncomfortable, and they feel premiumly built. And they look very nice. I just didn't find them to be my favorite, but I give them a pass on it. I would give them about a 7.5 out of 10 as far as all of that goes, because it's functional. It's just a little different for my ears. But the real meat and potatoes of an IEM review comes to the sound. And as I said, Cupid tries to match you up and tries to pair you up with your perfect mate, and he failed. He failed miserably. And I'll just be honest. These are not for me. You may like them, and cool. I do not. Alright, so some things that have been said in other reviews. If you read other reviews on the oBravo Cupid, you'll hear words thrown around like natural, neutral, smooth, engaging, and wrong. Wrong. The oBravo Cupids are the farthest thing from natural and are the farthest thing from neutral. Couple things. When I think of natural, it's what I hear on an everyday basis out and about in the real world. If I'm walking down the street and there's music playing, or people are talking, cars are going by, all kinds of other things. If I'm sitting in a music hall and there's an orchestra playing or a band playing, things like that, how it sounds to me there is natural, okay? Neutral is how it sounds without any colorization. Nothing being boosted, nothing being accentuated, nothing being recessed. It's just how it's, you know, how it's out there. That's neutral. And the oBravo Cupid is not that. Smooth means there's nothing that's really bothering my ears. It's just bliss. And it's just, ooh, that's nice. It's like running your hands on some silk. Cupids are not that. All right, I have a big list of things that we're going to go through. And so, as I said, I gave you time to put on your sensitivity sensors and activate it. So I'm going to give you one more chance before I really get into breaking down the sound of the oBravo Cupid. All right, the oBravo Cupid is a extreme V shape. And if you have watched my channel, you know that V shape is not my preferred sound signature. And I rarely ever come across the V shape that I enjoy. The Cupid is not one of them. All right, the bass. The bass is actually one of the good things that the Cupid does. Not saying it's very good, but it's better than a lot of the rest. The Cupid, oBravo Cupid's bass is thick, it's weighty, it's beefy, it has really nice impact, and it does lack a little bit of texture and a little bit of tonality. It struggles, but for the most part, it's a fun bass. It's a thumpy bass. It's a thick bass. The only problem is it's more sub bass prominent than mid bass prominent, and so a lot of times, the deeper the bass is, the more fun, the more it is. Mid bass is just kind of there, but it's a little bit on the thinner side, and it sounds a little bit on the recessed and a little rolled off. It's really strange. It's still a good bass, it's still a fun bass. It just kind of, the farther you get towards the upper bass and mids region, it starts to kind of mellow out and you lose a little bit of body to it. But overall, the bass is enjoyable. I really do enjoy the bass. It has a very fun impact. Problem with it is it lacks refinement. It's all about the, here we are, you know, shake your head, boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't have details and clarity. It's all about the show instead of giving you overall presentation. Mids. The lower mids are very thin. They're very recessed. They lack impact. They just have, like, the body just isn't there. They sound very dull. And the upper mids are extremely shouty. It's like, here are the lower mids. We're back, way back here. Here are the upper mids. They're way here. The upper mids are extremely lively. They're just way too much. And again, just like the bass, the mids lack refinement. They're not even, they're not cohesive, and they're just very unrefined. Tonality and timbre they just don't mesh very well on the oBravo Cupid. Treble. From 3K to 5K, it's extremely aggressive. It's very much accentuated. It's very much right there. It's just, and then 7K to 10K is a very bright. It's bright, harsh, and it is very sharp. The treble is very energetic. Energetic and forward. Vivid is another word that you can use for the treble. It's like way out there. Whew. If the bass is prominent, the treble is even more. So it's a very aggressive V, and the mids are like really far back. It's very strange. And again, they lack refinement. They just don't have good resolution. Everything just kind of sounds harsh. It's all there, it just doesn't mesh together. Tonality. As I mentioned, some of the things that people say is it's neutral and natural. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It is not that at all. They do not sound natural whatsoever. They sound dry, they sound bright, they sound metallic, they sound artificial, and thin, all at the same time. It's a very strange sounding IEM. It is not natural whatsoever. And if you think that is natural, I'm sorry, you have borked ears. I'm just gonna say it. If you think that these IEMs are natural sounding, you need to listen to what you're hearing out in the real world. Tonality is just wrong. Timbre is very dull. Things just don't sound realistic. It's just dull. Clarity, oh, there's clarity, especially in the highs. It's there. It's a very clean sound. It's wrong sound, but it's there. There is clarity. Okay, another thing that I really enjoy. Soundstage. Soundstage is wide. It's deep. It's got good layering to it. It's a very engaging, very immersive sounding soundstage. I actually really enjoy the soundstage. You get things whizzing around your head. You get things moving here and there, traveling across. You can space things very well. It does a very good job with imaging. It does a good job, especially with macro detail. So if it's a very evident detail, it's right there. You can hear it, you can place it. Micro stuff isn't so good. It's a little more hidden, a little more recessed. You really have to kind of listen for it. Sometimes it doesn't even portray it. But for the most part, the details are there, mainly because it's such a bright headphone. But the oBravo Cupid, okay? Let's put it this way. It forces everything at you at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and it crashes into a ball of fire. It has no control, no cohesion. It doesn't recognize what it's supposed to be actually doing to stay together and stay in control. And so it has no control at top speed, and it's all about the acceleration and all about the top end. All it cares about is giving you the information as fast as it can, but it has no control. It's a top fuel dragster that has no brakes. So everything comes at you, but when it comes time to slow down after the 1/4 mile, the parachute doesn't come out, and when the driver has to turn to enter the pits, it can't make the turn. That's the oBravo Cupid. It's a race car without control. And if a race car is going to win a race, no matter if it's a top fuel dragster or a GT3 car or any other type of race car, even NASCAR and Indy cars, you have to be able to turn. And the oBravo Cupid can't do that. Thank you for sending over the oBravo Cupid. It was interesting. But the Cupid didn't pair up with me. It is, to me, it's a flaming wreck of an IEM. And for $269, I cannot recommend it. No. As much as the Tin Hi-Fi P1 was a little much for me, I would rather listen to a Tin Hi-Fi P1 than an oBravo Cupid. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on the screen is a subscription link, notification bell. If you haven't already, please check those off. And then don't forget to check out the links down below for where you can purchase, if you want to, a oBravo Cupid, and for how all the playlists and everything that I use to review them. Thanks, and have yourself a great day.